episode 10 of the Project Bag podcast. My name's Gemma and I'm coming to you tonight from my home in Kent, where I live with my husband and our two cats who are in the doghouse tonight, Archie and Kit 9. They've been a little bit naughty lately. Archie has clawed the whatsits out of my really nice dining room chairs, so he's in big trouble, and Kit 9 has just gone into the bin and helped himself to the halloumi wrapper from the halloumi cheese we had with dinner tonight, deposited it into one of my trugs in which I dye yarn, and got into said trug and started to lick out the packet and eat the packet. So yeah, my boys are in the doghouse tonight, definitely. The lounge door is shut and I don't care how much they meow at me. We're not stopping this. I'm sitting down to talk to you, finally. So if you're a new viewer, you've already got a sense of what the podcast is like. Welcome. Thank you very much for trying out the podcast. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. It's so lovely to have you here again. Okay. I am going to carry on trying to address my even better ifs, and one of those was to keep the podcast lengths to under an hour if I can. Now obviously sometimes that can't happen. Last week was a little bit over. This week's a bit light on content, and I'm going to have some kind of time-saving things going on as well. So the first one is, for everywhere you want to find me on the internet, to follow me, to join our Ravelry group, to join the Facebook page, to join the club, to see all the updates. Everything's just down below for you in the description box where you can find me. So that's that done. Next thing, Project Bag podcast admin. It's been a really exciting few weeks here at the Project Bag UK. Ever since I got back from Perth, things have just, yeah, it's amazing. It's really cool. I've met some of the most wonderful people. I'm never going to get bored of telling you how wonderful it was at Perth and all the amazing people I met. Never going to get bored of that. Sorry, you're going to hear a lot of that from me. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. And yeah, let's start with the giveaway, shall we? The giveaway for the Yarnesty Cowl.lection. I have just this minute closed it on the Ravelry group, and I have used a true random number generator. I think, yeah, random.org is what I used. I put in the numbers 2 through 6 because post number 1 was mine, and the winner is Aileen. Yeah, it is. It's Aileen, another Perth buddy. She was the very first person to join in on this giveaway, and yep, random wants you to win, so there we are. Well done, Aileen. Get in touch with me. No, well, I mean, you could just get in touch with Anna, couldn't you? No, get in touch with me. Get in touch with me, and I will sort it all out with Anna. And yeah, you know, you know the drill. You've got to get in touch with me, and then you get your prize. I am going to put one final call out, and this is the last one for the winner of the 100 subscriber giveaway, and that's Asteroid. Asteroid, I'm going to assume, my love, that you don't want your prize if you don't get in touch before episode 11 goes out. Not offended by that at all, but I think I'm just going to give someone else the chance to win. Okay, so that's that. So the Yarnesty Cowl.lection, 6 patterns designed by the lovely Anna after places that she knows in Sweden. The first one being the village in which she grew up. That's out now. It's beautiful. That has been won by Aileen. So thrilled. And it's an updating thing. So the first one's out, the second one's coming out next month, and your collection will just update. That's been done. And the 100 subscriber giveaway. Asteroid, come on, if you want it, get in touch. Okay, on to cowls. I've got a bit of a serious one here. I am going to apologise, and Aileen, you can't tell me off for this one, all right? There's been a bit of confusion, and I don't know if it's because I talk really quickly or because I set up 2 cowls in very quick succession. I'm not going to go into details about what's happened, but so there's no more confusion and no more upset, because there has been a little bit of upset, I want to just clarify the rules of our 2 craft alongs, okay? There are 2 going on at the moment. Both of them last for a couple of months. First one is the Crackthose WIPSKAL, which was meant to help me reduce my whips pile. Actually, it's had the opposite effect. I've seen how many whips you lot have and feel totally unable to cast on all the things. So that's backfired. That was for projects cast on before the 16th of September. Before the 16th of September. So they had to be a whip. You had to have at least cast it on before the 16th to enter it. Okay, so there's beautiful, beautiful things going on in the chatter thread. There's lots of love coming across for everyone's work. That's really great. I'm really enjoying looking at that. And then there's the finished object thread. 1 picture per item. So basically every whip you finish counts as an entry. Brilliant. And that closes on the 1st of December. Okay, so anything that was a whip closes on the 1st of December. That means I can draw for prizes and I can send you a lovely treat in time for Christmas as a reward for you polishing your halos and getting those rips cracked. Oh God. Rips, no, whips cracked. Yeah, whips cracked. So that's that. The second one was the Great Festive Cast On. And this is where I don't think I was clear enough. When I say cast on, I really did mean cast on. So anything cast on the 1st of October or since then, you can count for the Great Festive Cast On. It's got to have some sort of festive connection. So if it's a gift, I mean, it doesn't have to look super. Let's just take Christmas as one of the festivities. That's obviously one of the major festivities that's going on at this time of year. Well, leading up to it. You don't have to be knitting a robin redbreast jumper for a gift for someone. It could be a perfectly plain jumper, but if you know that's a Christmas gift and you're ticking it off your list, then pop it in, that's fine. So where the confusion seems to have arisen is from the way I've set up these 2 craft alongs, it's not physically possible to enter the same item into both craft alongs. Because 1, the item had to already be a whip by the 16th of September, and the second one had to be cast on or after the 1st of October. So it's not actually physically possible to enter them into both. And there's been a bit of confusion and some people have entered into both. So that's all sorted now, but going forward, try and make sure if you can that you're entering your finished project into the correct thread so that you get the chances you deserve to win the prize. So there isn't double dipping across these. Where there can be double dipping, I'm not going to police this, and if I see that you've entered your socks in Yarn Hoarders Free All the House Elves, or the year-long sock along from Crazy Sock Lady, or Boxer Socks 2018 from Kristen of Woolenvine, formerly known as Yarngasm, or Amy's Festive Sock along, I join in with those, and if I think, oh, she's entered those socks in my gift, I'm not gonna police that. That's fine, you know. If you've got a pair of socks and it fits 4 or 5 podcasters, then I'm fine with that. Not a problem with me. But there's no double dipping across the 2 because there can't be, because of how I set it up. I hope that clears it up. Please, please don't be offended if I get in contact with you about your entries. It's in the interest of making sure that you get the fair chance that you deserve to win the prize. What I don't want to do is to say, oh, kicking the tripod, is to go in, see that someone's mistakenly, completely accidentally entered it into 2 threads, and then just pick one and delete it. That's not right, you know. I'd rather talk to you about it and sort it out amicably. Yeah. So those are the 2 craft alongs. A reminder for the people who do different crafts that the Facebook page, you can enter crafts other than knitting, spinning and crochet. So if it's fibre related, knitting, spinning, crochet, pop it in the Ravelry group thread for finished objects. If it is any other craft, just pop it in the Facebook Project Bag Club page, because I will draw from there. And if you've entered a knitting object and you want to enter a paper craft or a silversmithing, or you know, whatever it is you do, then yeah, go for both. Go for both. That's fine. Okay, so those are giveaways. Okay, on to whips. as you know, I have a crazy list of whips. I have been focusing just on a couple this week, so I'm not going to take you through the whole list again, but I'm going to show you the ones that have had the most love. So I'm going to start with, and this is terrible. This is terrible. It's actually halfway through a row. How bad is that? That is not good knitting management. But here we are. Oh, right, that's going to be the inside. Can you see why I've got this weird doobly-doo here? I don't like that. I looked at that. I'm going to turn it around again so you can see my horrible mistake. I don't even know what I've done. I really don't know what I've done. What I think it is where I was trying to show my beginners how to fix mistakes, and where I showed it a couple of different times on the tutorial, I think I've just stretched the yarn, you know. Maybe it's that, because I'm recording tutorials for the channel. I know I've been really lax at putting them up lately, but life, day job. Yeah, so I was looking at it and I thought, I'm not ripping that back again for a third time. This actually was meant to be a completed tunic by the 14th of October. It is now the 18th of October, and I haven't even got half a boob tube. Oh no, I suppose just about respectable. Yeah, I haven't even got half a boob tube at the moment. So that has now become the inside, because it's knit flat and then pieced together. Some of you have asked me for video tutorials on seaming, and I'm gearing up to do that with this, and also with some little Christmas cardies for my god babies that will be knit flat, so watch out for those. Yeah, it's 2x2 rib. It's 2x2 rib. The back is entirely 2x2 rib. This is going to mean that it fits beautifully. It's going to cinch in all the right places, but it's just 2x2 rib. And it doesn't go as fast as stockinette, or stockinette in the round where you're just knitting. It's slow. But I know I love the finished item. This is definitely a product knit for me, not a process knit. I am using paint box yarns. Focus, please. Is it focusing? Is it now that I'm not here? Hello, I'm Gemma. It's by Love Knitting. You can buy it online. It's called Pick Your Palette Simply DK. 276 meters per 100 grams, and it's acrylic. I needed a cheap and cheerful but quality commercial yarn to knit this tunic in. I was not in a position, having just been to Fibre East and knowing that I was going to Perth, I was not in a position to buy another sweater's quantity of yarn that wasn't a commercial yarn. And I really like paint box yarns. I've used them a few times for different things. And I just really like this colour. I think this kind of sagey green is going to be really cosy and great for autumn. And I love the stitch definition, apart from the fact you can see where things have gone a bit squiffy. So when I do the cables at the front, because the tunic has a cable panel up the middle, gorgeous, it's going to show really beautifully. So yeah, if I was to do this again, I would probably try and adapt it to do an Aran weight, but as I said, this was meant to be a test knit for Shiawashoten, I think, put her hair. That's a designer name. Emily, she's amazing. She designed the Sattler cardie that I test knit right at the beginning of our podcast adventures together. Shaping is achieved by going down needle sizes, and this is why this has grown so much, because I needed the needles that were on here. You're going to be impressed by this, hang on. Cue rustling. Right. Oh, it's not even in that bag. Hey ho. Okay, I needed the needles to put back onto my Calypso cardigan, because look, I finished a front. Last time I showed this to you, I was here, which is the start of the armhole, which, as you might remember, we've discussed, there's no shaping. You do 27 rows of 1x1 rib. I chose to do twisted rib because I think it's prettier, especially in this kinky yarn. It looks really cool. Then you do 100 rows of stockinette with a little bit, oh, is it going to show? Oh, it's doing that stockinette thing of curling in, or stocking stitch thing. I always called it stocking stitch. It's only since I've kind of entered the Fibre world that I've become acquainted with stockinette. I think it's an Americanism. Okay, so you can just about see there's a little bit of 1x1 rib at the side there. And then you get to the armholes and you think, yay, shaping something to... No. 55 rows of stockinette. And then you just shape the shoulder. But that is done. So, hooray! I'm so pleased. I have yet to cast on the second front, but when that's done, I'm going to start sewing it together. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick up the border and do the border all at once, or if I'll do the sleeves first. It really depends, but this does mean that I am back on track to get this to my mum's lovely, lovely friend in time, certainly for Christmas. I mean, she gave this to me at the beginning of the summer and I've been terrible. I mean, I have been working on it, but I've obviously been working on other things as well. And oh, that's what I was meant to show you. I'll have to go and find it in a bit. There's something I've got to show you and I need my head to do it. Although I could use my head. I'll use my head. Don't worry, it will become clear. I'm not editing this much either. Where there's going to be cuts, it'll be where I'm, excuse me, yawning. I'm yawning a lot. It's Thursday night. It is 10:15, but I had to sit down and talk to you guys. I miss you if I don't talk to you. Here we are. So yeah, it's beautiful. This is King Cole Calypso yarns. It's this lovely kind of mild effect, blue and white, pale blue, and it's kind of a kinky yarn, which gives it a really interesting texture. That's the only thing I've struggled with. I am an obsessively neat knitter. If I hadn't done this 3 times already, and I hadn't been able to turn it around so that you could hide my sloppy stitch, I'd have pulled that back. And that's where I've struggled with this, because it isn't the neatest stockinette, but it looks really effective. It's really cozy. I'm actually, I can't believe I'm saying this, I'm actually tempted to knit myself one. I'd have to wait till spring, because wait till you see the picture that I've got of all the yarn I meant to knit up by Christmas. I wasn't going to tell you that, and now I've mentioned it, so now I've got to tell you. Oh well, never mind, it might make me do it. Okay, so Calypso cardigan, so called because it is in King Cole Calypso yarns. It has a pattern number. The pattern number is... no idea, because I don't know what I've done with the pattern again. And the Ella Tunic by Emily Walton for Expression Fibre Arts. And the lovely Shandy has started, she gave me some love on Instagram for the Sattler Cardi, so yay! Hi Shandy! Great! So the third and final whip that I've been working on are my Selbu mittens. No, I'm lying to you, there's a fourth one. Let's show you the fourth one first. The Selbu mittens are my most exciting one. Sit through this boring bit of garter stitch and then you get to see the Selbu mittens. Haha, I'm Eve. Oh look, this is in the middle of a row as well. What was I? Oh, I know, it's because I was knitting in the Doctors. So I put on my Instagrid actually today, you know, about talking about places you can knit. Oh, this is no good, is it? How is this gonna... Sorry, I'm just trying to poke the stitches onto the needles enough that I can't show you properly. Oh well. So yeah, I had the doctor's appointment this morning and I find doctor's surgeries really, I don't like them. I don't like them. You look at people, don't you? You can't help it. You look at people and then they cough and then you're like, ooh. And people walk in and, oh, I mean, obviously they do because it's a doctor's surgery and they're paid. I'm being ridiculous. I don't like it. I find knitting helps. And also, if I'm going to wait for half an hour, I had to wait this morning for my appointment. My appointment that was made, that I arrived 5 minutes early for, I had to wait half an hour for. I mean, that said, she gave me plenty of time, so yeah, she's a good doctor. I'm not moaning about the doctor. Point is, loads of knitting time in doctor surgeries. So I took this, and that's why it's halfway through the... Oh, do you know what I could do? Maybe that would work. No, that wouldn't work. No, Gemma, you're an idiot. I've just poked them further down the needles thinking maybe I can bring it all round onto the cord, but of course I can't because that's the middle of the knitting. This is my Pattercake DK Garter stitch blanket. It's a gradient yarn, self colour changing. It kind of works into almost perfect stripes. You can just see there where it's not quite got to the end of the row. And I love it. These are blues and they are meant to be for baby Plum, who arrived coming up to a month ago, which is just crazy. He's doing really well, which is lovely, and we are hoping to be able to go and visit the family soon, as in within the next couple of weeks, so I better get knitting. I'm almost halfway there. Almost halfway there. It's not too bad. I love the colours. So yeah, that's that. Now you get to see the interesting one. Oh, they're here. Selbu mittens. I am really enjoying these. I'm making myself do a couple of rows a night. I can't do it and watch podcasts, not just because it's colour work, but actually more than that because, sorry, I'm pulling the needles through, because I like to watch podcasts while I do, no, I can't watch podcasts at the same time because I need the pattern up on the screen. I could just print it out, but printing it out, that's time I could be knitting, right? So yeah, so I'm trying to make myself do a couple of rows a night. I am enjoying doing it. I'm really liking the pattern. It's showing up really well here now, look. Oh, isn't that showing up nicely? You can see that detail. The thumb increases are almost done. I'm about to separate the thumb, which is scary, and that's why I stopped where I am. And you can see the snowflake. Sorry, my husband tells me my voice goes funny when I'm behind there, so pop my head over. Hi. The snowflake is emerging and I am so pleased with it. I'm really pleased with it, and the fit is really good as well. Tension I'm pretty happy with. There are a couple of bits where, for example, on the palm, I'm just going to use my needle to try and bring a stitch through a bit more if I can. There are a couple of bits on the palm where my tension's been a bit tight and the stitches are kind of disappearing. But for my first colour work mittens, I'm really happy with this. These are the Selbu mittens by Ellie, who goes by Skeindeer Knits. She has the Skeindeer Knits podcast, which is great. Really, really good quality. She has shared that she will be podcasting less frequently at the moment while she focuses on her PhD. I'm not telling you anything that she hasn't shared herself there, but they are really, really good, and she's got a wonderful back catalogue. So if you haven't watched her podcast yet, seriously you should. That girl is so knowledgeable, so knowledgeable. And we're not just talking about her in terms of having, like, being a PhD student. The pattern's really well written, absolutely beautiful. And I am enjoying working with this really toothy rustic yarn. It's Springfield Farms. They've only got 2 colours out. I'm sorry if you're familiar with the podcast, you've heard all this before, but if you're not, I need to tell you. I picked it up at Perth, and this is my Perth cast on, which was a great idea by, pretty certain it was Pip, Ramsey Baggins on Instagram, one half of the Tipsy Knits podcast. Great podcast. I really need to catch up with them actually. I'm really behind. Oh, I could do that. I could listen to them and knit the Selbu mittens. Sorted. Sorted. Yeah, she had the fantastic idea of everyone who'd been to Perth casting on something at the same time with something they bought from Perth, which is such fun. I was late. Of course I'm late. This is me. But also to include everybody else. If you couldn't get to Perth, you can, and you have something in stash from a Perth vendor, you can cast on too. So there we are. Beautiful. I'm really proud of those. I'm really proud of those. Ah, happy days. Fit's amazing. The one thing I might do, I'll show you, should I show you my floats? Should I show you the inside? Ooh. It's like the behind the scenes, the back of the cross stitch. And the backs of my cross stitches are fairly neat. Oh, difficult back cross stitch at some point. There we are. There are my floats. And what I really like is, if you look, can you see like almost like the reverse, where the floats come across, it's like a reverse snowflake. That's cool, isn't it? I think that means I've done a good job. I think. Yeah, they're fairly even. There aren't any sort of particularly sort of tight tuck it in points. I'm pretty happy with those as well. So yeah, I might line them because it is just a little bit toothy. Okay, so now what I've got for you is a bit of a weird one. A couple of weeks ago I recorded a segment on crochet and the podcast was just getting too long. It was, I can't even think of the reason why now, but it was coming up for 2 hours. And so I made the decision to take that segment out. I have saved it on my hard drive and I'm going to pop it in here. So I'm about to hand you over to Gemma of a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks. I'm just trying to work out if when I recorded it and when it all uploaded and yeah. So Gemma of 2 weeks ago is going to talk to you about some crochet. I don't talk about the jumper I'm wearing in that podcast or in the next podcast where I'm wearing it again, but it is a mummy made jumper. So mum makes most of my knits for me. I'm a lucky girl. I'm pretty certain it's a Sirdar yarn. Really nice, kind of two-toned. It's purple with a peach kind of thread, like very fine lace weight almost held with it, and some bit of sparkle, bit of stellina in there as well. The pattern itself actually came from a knitting magazine. It was either Love Knitting or simply, is it Love Knitting? Or is that just the website? I don't know. But Simply Knitting, one of those, and it's really beautiful and I wear it all the time. So anyway, that's what Gemma of the past is wearing. Enjoy the crochet segment and I will see you back here in just a little bit. Bye. That I've remembered that I said I'd show you some crochet, and technically these count as whips, so they're a little bit, I don't know, they might be a bit terrifying. Let's see. Okay, here you go. Hello. Right, okay, crochet. These are what are called lovies. Essentially what it is a blanket which has my hair on it. Yeah, it's like a blanket square thing. I mean, this is a hexagon that's crocheted with a kind of teddy attachment. These are very nearly finished objects. They are so close to being finished. These are from the design of Featherbee and Friends. Put it just down here. You can find her on Etsy and on Instagram. She is such a fun designer. The patterns are really easy to follow. This is the first time I'd done crocheting a 3D object. I hadn't done it before. Sorry, I'm trying to. It's okay. And there's a bear, there's a kitten, there's an owl, there's a puppy, and you can mix and match. You can mix and match the blanket styles. I've just done the one style with the teddy heads. She is very sweet and does allow you to sell from her patterns if you credit her as the designer, which is lovely. But what I will say is you must not sell anything that is appealing to children unless it is CE tested. So it doesn't matter if you intend it as a toy or not. I mean, this is a lovey, so it's for a little one. If you look here, you can see the stuffing through those stitches, so that would fail CE testing. I will do a video on CE testing at some point for you, but yeah, you mustn't really sell things that could be attractive to children unless they pass these tests. I mean, this wouldn't pass because you can see the stuffing through it. If I was to grab one of Lara's, focus. Got to do this again and try and get it to focus. Come on. Doesn't want to. We're just going to be completely blurred. Right, let me grab Lara's other octopus. Right. So, people have asked me about knitting or crocheting octopuses for prem babies. Now, I am not the authority on it. I'm a NICU mum. I'm a preemie mum, but I haven't actually been part of the Octopus for Preemies movement. But what I will show you, this is this is Princess Consuela Banana Hammock, known as Princess Consuela or PCB. She is a little octopus that was given to Lara because the doctor thought that the reason Lara still pulled out her feeding tube while with her other octopus, Penelope, who's the one you've seen in the picture when I talked about Truly Hooked, was because her tentacles were too big. And he said, oh, we'll get an octopus with thinner tentacles and that will solve the problem. And I sort of went, Okay, Doc. Yeah, we'll try. No, it didn't work. She loved her octopus, had hold of it all the time, but still pulled her tubes out anyway. She's just a fidget. I mean, 3 days old, she found her ears, and she spent the entire afternoon like holding on to them and actually pulling on them quite hard. I'm thinking, aren't you hurting yourself? There's a really cute video of her. She's holding on to my finger. She's lying on her side, she's having her food. So Dad's feeding her. She's holding on to my finger with one hand. She's got her dummy, which she's sucking, and she's holding on to her ear with the other. And you know, she's a busy girl. Anyway, so we've got this one. We've kept Princess Consuela because her favourite is Penelope. Lara's favourite is Penelope, to be honest. She was always holding onto her. But yeah, so this is Princess Consuela. She is actually a quadrupus because she only has 4 tentacles, which did upset her nurse, who went and found this one for her. She was like, I wanted one without a scary face and that was small, and this is small and it's got the least scary face, but it's got 4 tentacles. Anyway, it's crocheted, but the point the reason I've picked this up, sorry, I've gone on a complete tangent to tell you a story about my daughter, is here. Can you see how tight those stitches are? I mean, you cannot, I mean, I'm not going to try and damage this, but you can't pull those apart and get stuffing out. There's nothing that could cause any harm to a little one. So CE testing, very important. I mean, I don't even know what hook this would have been done on. So there you go. Whereas this, certainly in the way I've done it, is not suitable for a little one. So this gives me a couple of choices. I can either crochet the whole thing again, or what I think I'm going to do is try and work out a way of rescuing the blanket bit and then redoing the head, because I want ideally to give these to some of the babies that are born and in progress, under construction. But obviously with that I can't give them to them. That wouldn't be safe. So if you're thinking of selling from her patterns, you need to make sure CE tested. I've got the same problem with this one here. See the stuffing there? And the thing is, the thing with this is that I was very new to crocheting like teddies or crocheting like solid objects. I'm just going to put her octopus back. Okay, right. Princess Consuela's chilling up there. Princess Consuela was named by her nurse, as was Penelope, but she was great at picking names. So yeah, and this one is going to be a bear. Not that it looks like it. It just looks like a slightly scary ball with arms, slightly sinister. So yeah, that's some crochet for you. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these. I think I should, in theory, be able to cut this off and put a lifeline around, because what you do, if I turn it this way, I'm going to sneeze, sorry. Oh, bless me, sorry. Don't know if you can see there, but what you do is you've crocheted the kind of ball thing, and then you pick up around there and then crochet out. I'm pretty certain that's how it works. I will double check the pattern and find out, but there's going to be some rescuing going on here. I mean, the arms are totally fine because they're not stuffed, but the head needs redoing, and that's quite and I think you actually do the arms as you go. You pick up the arms as you go as well. I can't remember, it's so long since I was doing this. It was actually last year. So these are 2 little crocheted loveys, hexagonal. I can highly recommend a pattern, but as I say, if you're planning on selling anything for little ones, if you're planning on selling stuffies or giving them as presents, stuffies, or we call them soft toys, you need to make sure that they would pass the CE testing. I mean, if you're giving it to a family child, fair enough, but I think it would be really irresponsible, personally, really irresponsible to not at least have a look at the CE testing and see if it would pass most of them, because you're giving something to a tiny child. They need to be kept safe. So there's crochet for this week. And maybe next week, maybe, no promises, I'll have some more to show you, and I'll show you what I've done to rescue those. Okay, so now on to acquisitions. I have got, okay, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that segment, and now it's time to address, as Kristen would say, the elephant in the room, or more specifically, the elephant that has appeared on my head. This, guys, is my hat design. It's called the Graffiti hat. It's Aran weight, and I have knit it out of Truly Hooked's one-of-a-kind Christmas colourway, Like a Unicorn Threw Up on Christmas, and I love it. There are a couple of sizing issues. I would like it to come down over my ears a little bit more. My husband thinks the fit's perfect. So at the moment I'm playing around with the sizing for the pattern, but it is going to go to my gorgeous tech editor soon, and it will be available to be test knit, and well, no, I've got some test knitters lined up. It will be available to purchase nearer to Christmas with any luck. So here we are, get my head down here. So as you can see, I've got this weird eye thing going on there. As you can see, it is ribbed, and it's got this really funky cable pattern, and if I bend over my head, I hope you can see this, bend my head over, you can see it all kind of twists together to the crown, and the cables aren't, I'm going to take it off now. Oh god, oh, don't care. The cables are a little bit different, as you can see. They are not your traditional kind of Celtic cables. I love this colourway. Incidentally, I will have Aran yarn in the shop at the weekend, so, you know, and I really like how it all spirals together as well. So I'm really pleased with this. It's called the Graffiti hat. It is a Project Bag original design, and it will be available in a few weeks, fingers crossed. To knit this, you will need circular needle and DPNs for doing the crown. It's easier. And one ball of Aran weight yarn, 100-gram ball. Simple. I am also designing some mitts to go along with it. Some I'm going for fingerless mitts to go along with it. I think they're just a bit edgier and go with the idea of the graffiti hat. There we are. I love it. Yeah, so I'm hoping to be able to get those out of the remainder of the ball of yarn as well. So I'm gonna see, but I'm gonna have a bit of a play. I'll keep twizzling this around my hand. Woohoo! I'm gonna have a bit of a play with the sizing. I'll pop it back on again. Excuse my ends. End is terrible. Now, as I say, my husband really likes the fit of this. It comes down nicely to the nape of my neck. I like that, but the bit I'm not sure about is, tuck my head behind my ears. Oh, that looks really weird. Is it doesn't, I don't know. For me personally, I quite like it to cover my ears, I think. I don't know. I mean, I've got a fairly average sized head. Quite happy. Yeah. I'm going to have a play around, see if I can offer a couple of different sizings. I've done that to my hair again. And yeah, I just wanted to show you. There we are. So, an FO. Project Bag Designs. On that note, I might as well share with you the cowl as well. Now the cowl, focus please. There we are. The cowl is currently being tech edited. I have had it sent back to me. I just need to make some amendments and then send it off. But this is my sampler cowl. I am really pleased with it. It's got this gorgeous chevron. It's got lots of different panels, just using knits and pearls. It's what I designed to teach my beginners to knit with, and they love it. Their cowls are absolutely beautiful. They've used Stylecraft Special Chunky, whereas I used Serenity Chunky. Serenity has alpaca, which is why it's got that fuzz. I love how it's come out in the Stylecraft Special Chunky, to be honest with you. I really love it. And what we've discovered is from 2 balls of yarn, they can get the cowl and the fingerless mitts that I designed to go along with it. Because they finished it really quickly. They just enjoyed it so much, they flew along, so I needed to design another project for them. So yeah, it starts off garter and works its way through various pattern styles and the tricky chevron and back again. And I love it, and that's going to be available in November for you to purchase from my Ravelry store. It will be a paid for pattern. So yeah, if you want a quick chunky knit to knit up in time for Christmas, my beginners have absolutely loved it. They're keen, some of them are keen to cast on another one, a second one. One of them has plans to just make these for everyone for Christmas. So yeah, that's going to be available too. A quick reminder that I am having a shop update this Saturday at 7 PM British summer time. In that shop update, I will be launching my yarns. At the moment, I have got some Aran, some DK and some sock yarn going in, only on 5 colourways, but I am, as I speak, soaking some more yarn on sock and DK to do some semi-solids and have a play around with Friday night. So hopefully they'll be going into the shop as well on Saturday. So do pop along and check it out. There are also a huge number of project bags available in there. Drawstring ones, I've got some lovely drawstring Halloween ones. My Halloween cats are still hanging out in there, so do go and check that out. Stitch markers, I've made some super cute pumpkins, and zipped bags, and really big zipped bags as well. I'm just gonna whip one out to show you. This is a unicorn one and my jumbo one. Can you see how, look, that's a couple of my heads easily in that bag. It's got a really nice deep box bottom. It's zipped, handle, stitch marker, lined in a pretty fabric with an internal zippy pocket. Now that is love, guys, because they are hard to put in for all your notions, and it's padded and it will stand up on its own. So my jumbo project bags are in there, and they are perfect. I have put skeins of indie dyed yarn in there, and actually this can fit 10 skeins with room to spare. And when I say with room to spare, I mean you've got that much at the top still, and you can do it up comfortably. So jumbo bags are in there. I've then got smaller sweater size bags, and I've got my itty bitty sock bags as well. They're all in there. And I want to play a game with you. I'm going to finish up this week, because there's not really any chatter. I'm going to finish up this week with a game. This is a YouTube only game. It's a mystery prize. I know what it is. You don't know what it is. And I'm so excited. It's a YouTube only game, so you have to comment down below. And next week I will, before I record the podcast, I will draw a winner from the YouTube comments down below. All right. So I'm reading it off the screen. Let's play a game. First, think of a sound of mirth or triumph. Next, twice give me the centre of art. Third, a ponderous question asked by philosophers and tots. Last, a noble craftsman with tools of hand, earth and wheel. String them together and answer me this. What themed project bags do you not want to miss? I'm so excited. I'll say it again, and I think I'm going to put it in the description box as well. First, think of a sound of mirth or triumph. Next, twice give me the centre of art. Third, a ponderous question asked by philosophers and tots. Last, a noble craftsman with tools of hand, earth and wheel. String them together and answer me this. What themed project bags do you not want to miss? If you think you know the answer, drop it below in the comments section and I will draw from the correct answers, and there will be a very special prize winging its way to you. That's it for this week. Short and sweet, as I said. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've had a really great week. I am gearing up for 2 weeks off now. I've got one more day at work tomorrow, and then I am off from the day job so I can dedicate myself to the project bag and all the things that go with it. There will be a podcast next week, and I will share with you more of what I'm getting up to over the half term then. Don't forget to join the Ravelry group. Don't forget to try that riddle. Asteroid, get in touch with me if you want your prize. Aileen, I know you'll get in touch with me for your TheProjectBagUK prize. Anyone who hasn't won, thank you so much for joining in. Do check out her patterns anyway, because they're beautiful. Maybe consider buying them for yourself. And don't forget to enter the giveaways. I really hope that I've cleared up any confusion in that early bit. Great. Have a great week, guys. Take care. Bye. I'm back. I totally forgot to tell you something really exciting is happening. Next week, I am sitting down to chat with the gorgeous Tabitha, who is the design director for Sweet Georgia. So that's Sweet Georgia, run by Felicia Lowe, based out of Canada. And Tabitha is the designer of the Tullamine mystery shawl that I have been working on. We've been trying to get this to happen for a number of weeks. We've finally got a time that we're going to sit down and have a chat. We're doing that next week, and I'm going to try and find out a way of uploading it to YouTube. I don't think I'm going to live stream it. We're going to sort something out, but it's going to be there, and it's so exciting. So make sure you come back for that. Take care. Bye.